I could not be more excited, my friends. Today we have the #1 free-to-play player guide here for you to take down Beast Raid Avatar of Rune on expert mode. Only took me 48 hours. Regardless, I am the #1 free-to-play player to hand it over to you in today's episode. With that, if you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. On top of that, if you get a question, if you get a comment, let me know, because I love to hear from you and would love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. I may have shared it there early. On top of that, to all of our members. Now, down below, you can find a lot of great information about today's episode and additional stuff here that is going to be meaningful to this particular one as well, along with today's timestamps. Let's get into it here today, because you are here to see the #1 free-to-play way to take down Avatar of Rune. So let's get into it. So a couple things here. First and foremost, I'm not going to overkill all the tactics, as we always say, when it comes to this particular boss. If you want to do that, you can watch our hard mode episode guide. The big thing that you do need to understand about this one is there's essentially 3 main phases. We got a first phase about trying to break the shield, the second phase by taking out the armor, and then the third phase by finally taking this thing down. Each phase has a different strategy, which we'll talk about with our teams as well. If you need additional information here about what this is, you can go to the upper left and understand a lot of the key pieces. Just remember, all these other things do matter. Healing decreased, capacity shield decreased, and enemies debuff resist increased as well there. And then all these amazing movesets, and the big one here, Urge for Destruction, which talks about a lot of these different pieces, which also removes attack speed and those kinds of things as well. So it's a huge part of your strategy as you're thinking about taking down the beast here, my friends. Now, let's go into these 3 phases and our teams. If you're looking for some ideas, though, however, you can definitely check these ones out here with some great ideas and ways to get by and take this thing down for you, and gives you some ideas of some swaps. We proved it out in the hard mode one. Now today's expert, though. All right, so here is what we are doing. Instead of trying to play this a little bit differently like we did in hard mode, we're going to isolate the 3 phases. So what does this mean? It means that we're not going to flip around with our teams too much, because that loses us time. Speed and time is of the essence for us when it comes to these things as a free-to-play player. So the first one is all about taking down that shield and getting a lot of damage in fast. So one of the highest ways for us to deal damage is with the electric type team. So this is exactly what I decided to do to make it work. Now, what we're doing here is we're stacking Cream Ferret, and we're stacking in Cream Puff for big heals over time, the backup on damage here, and a lot of damage can get done early and take the team out. So having the 2 healers here for that survivability is what made it work for me. Now, in terms of the rest of the stuff here, we're heavily focused on that attack side. Like I said, I do and have spent a ton of time working on Twizzly Gummy here to get to that 4-star ascension with the master mode. You can check out my master mode guides to figure out how to continue to do that. It's a lot of grinding, a lot of days, but that's the way that I've done that. Cream Puff from those guild battles and everything else. Now, with that, my friends, we get those additional boosts here because of these pieces right here. Min Star 3, anything that's got Min Star, you're going to understand that as a free-to-play player like me, veteran or returner or new player, we got right here the lowest level pieces, essentially. So again, big pieces here in terms of understanding what we're going to do in phase 1. Now, as always, when it comes to our gear, we do have all the gear and topping guides here on the channel. It's a great time to like and subscribe to stay up to date on content like this and a bunch of other things here on the channel. Now, we are in fact on crit here. Every single beast kit will try for 3 or 4. Some of them are going to be a little bit underpowered and underleveled, just due to the fact that I'm a free-to-play player and running out of materials, because these beast kits do take a lot of investment. Here we're on attack. We could move over to crit if we wanted to. Here we're on crit as an example. Here we're on crit for those big heals, and then there's our Cream Ferret on cooldown. So pretty solid when it comes to this lineup and team. So that is phase 1. Phase 2 is going to be the kneecapping armor. We got the water elemental type and the earth elemental type. This is the team that made it work for me. I figured out that I can survive on one healer with Mystic Flower here. Now, my strategy and idea is to split the field so that we got 2 water damage dealers and 2 earth damage dealers for the most part. Many of you have asked me on the skill elementals, what can I swap if I do not have golden cheese? You can try something like mozzarella. You could try to move over to olive if you wanted to. However, I've also found out here that burnt cheese works out well for this particular team and my build. The other newcomer here that's a great one is Captain Caviar. Another thought could be Sorbet Shark. I know that many of you have asked me for those kind of changes there as well. So just wanted to call those out. Now, Mango, Captain Caviar, and Twizzly, and most of these other things here, you can go to the mileage shop as well. So keep that in mind. That can be a good key strategy for you. If you're at 3-star and need to get to 5, as an example, that can make a big difference there for you. So that's the strategy with this one. We're going to keep this team out there. We're going to keep hitting. We're going to take both things out. We're not flipping around teams to make it happen. Now, in terms of our treasures here, we're on crit, we're on attack and cooldown. Here we're using and taking advantage of Dream Conductor's Whistle for attacks and dealing additional damage. A little bit more focused. You could try to flip over to crit instead. If you have some problems with survivability on either of them, you could go over to Disciples Magic Scroll. This is the crit, like I was saying, that you could consider as well in terms of those pieces. Now, the third team, before we close this one out, let's talk about the gear. Same thing. Great time to like and subscribe. We got all these down below for you in a playlist and here on the channel. Look, burnt cheese could use a little bit better. We have golden cheese here, could use just slightly better. We're on attack. Here we're on cooldown. You could switch this over to attack if you wanted to instead. I'm going to stay on this one for now because that's what worked for me to get through. Here we're on attack as well. And then last but not least, we're on cooldown. Now, a couple things here for these ones. You could consider using the sea salt resonant toppings as well. I just like to call that out for an additional piece. Here we have our resonant, and then again, you could switch to resonant here. You could also consider attack if you wanted to as well, to give you some alternative options. All right, so phase 2, third and final phase. This is a key part of this team. We also are doing this without the new cookie, Burning Spice Cookie. I should have said that at the very beginning, by the way, but we're not using Burning Spice Cookie. So now you know. There is a key aspect to this, though, which is Peppermint Cookie. So what happens is in the third phase, not only are we dealing fire damage and stacking our burns on the boss is doing that to us. There's a couple different attack times where the moveset runs for a very, very long time. If you're not getting those heals, you will get wiped. Peppermint Cookie is the cookie of disguise and the one that you need to use because this removes burn, my friends. Get the magic candy on there. You can check out my brand new guide on this cookie. It's a major reason why I was able to get by this. We can wipe those things off. That's why we're doing it. Now here we're on attack and cooldown once again. We're doing a double support in the heal here between Nutmeg Tiger and the lovely Peppermint. That's all that you need, my friends, as an idea there to get by this. Everything else needs to be focused on high velocity damage. If you're curious on some other fire questions, maybe you want to switch there into the capsation. Maybe you need another heal. You could go here with Unicorn as an example. Other damage, this one's great right here. Street Urchin can deal a ton of damage as well. We got a few more cookie opportunities in this particular one. Now, what I found is in my piece, I probably would swap Street Urchin for Rye as an example. In terms of my team, I'm going to run it with Rye because that made it work out nicely for me. And then Tartatan's great and awesome as well. So what's ultimately going to happen is as you tweak and perfect your team here, you're going to race on the score to get a better score, which is the key. So last but not least, once again, gear, great time to like and subscribe, stay up to date on these things. Again, we just did the Peppermint Cookie one. You can check it out here on the channel. Here we're on attack. Here we're on attack. Again, room to improve on this one. Here we're on cooldown. Again, if you watch my guide, I talk specifically around that as well. So that's a key tip and trick there for you. We're on attack here and then cooldown here. So we got a lot of space to grow with our team, which ultimately should mean that over time, as I make these investments, as this thing is still running here for the next month, we should be able to slowly improve our score, my friends. And additionally there, at least maintain that top 2,500. At one point, I was in the top 750, 800, 1,000. You can check that out in the last guide and episode on these things. But this is so exciting in terms of this piece. All right, my friends. Whew, let's take a breath. That is the team, the strategy, or if we want to give our 4Ts, that's the tactics, the team, the treasures, and the toppings in order to be successful. Take down expert mode here as a free-to-play player, or if you're not, a great guide for you regardless to beat Avatar of Ruin. Now we're going to go after it here and show you how it's done, because that is what we do. Not only do we do it, we prove it, my friends. So let's get going here as we handle the Avatar of Ruin. Now, this whole thing, too, you can run on auto, to be honest, minus the fact of flipping over the teams. Now, watch what you're going to see here is how significant this damage goes by this boss. The 2 cookie healers makes a massive difference for us for that survivability. Those big heals makes a big difference. And then again, we're heavily focused on that electric type damage. We can absolutely plow and mow this boss down. In some of my original testing, sometimes this can take well over 2 minutes to get by. Make sure you do your dodges. There we go. And here we go, continued. Almost there, my friends. Now, once we finish this up, which is right now, we're going to switch to our second team right away. There we go. Get into it right away. Now, a couple things here. You can focus fire if you want to, or you can just let them go like this and hit, because a lot of this stuff is AoE damage anyway. However, again, if you do want that additional focus, you can keep that in mind. The next key piece is once we take these things down, which I'll show, don't forget to tap the keys, because you want to make sure, or your board, to remove those ticks. Once you get the ticks off, then you want to make sure that you're absolutely going to town. D and K for me here. There we go. You're absolutely knocking all 3 of these punches in on the first round. Just make sure you give it a second, but get them all in before that. What's going to happen is after we do it one more time, we're going to only need to get 2 in, and getting those 2 in will get us to that third and final phase, my friends. We're rushing it. We're getting through so quickly. Here we go. All right, here we are. Just about there. I like getting them both right about at that same time. Get ready for the D and the K. There's that one. Into the next one. And there we go. D and K. Done. Now we get our 2 hits in. 1. One more, my friends. 2. Boom. 5 hits. Into the third and final piece, where we are going to switch over to our burn team, my friends. Let's go. And now watch Peppermint do Peppermint's work. Burn is gone. It is off. Huge pieces there. That was a big thing for me to make it happen. Again, we were about 250 million there to start at 3.5 minutes. Now the whole trick is, can we continue to improve, continue to do more damage, and beat the timer? The faster we get there, the faster we're going to move up. And on top of that, the better it's going to go for us, regardless here, in terms of our score. Now, don't forget to pay attention to that. I was not. And it's going to hurt just a little bit. Here we go. Everything in there. We got that attack speed cap. We got the vampiric bites in there, so keep those things in mind. 2.5 minutes left. We've taken 70 million off. Lots and lots of burn going on. Now, ideally, we get this off before we get into that next piece. Here we go. Now's our chance. Charge, my friends. We're getting there. There we are. Now, we are running cooldown on Peppermint because we want to make sure that we're not worried about big heals. What we're worried about is getting those burns off a lot quickly and fast, my friends. 125 left, over halfway. Here's the one, that I'm talking about, where if you get burned, it's going to stay on like this. This is why you want to have Peppermint Cookie. Additionally, making sure you don't get hit like me so that those stacks don't stack. That's going to increase your survivability. Here we go. Peppermint's going to take it right off. Look at that. This was a huge thing for me to do two things: survive and get enough damage in within the time frame to beat this down. We got almost 70 million left to go, my friends, with a minute and 30. Here we go. Right at the line. Oop, let's move out of the way. Get out of the way. Once again, you can see that if we kept and did not have Peppermint, all those stacks would continue to stay on and slowly take our team out over time. We are right at it, my friends. It's so close here. Stacking, stacking, stacking. Uh-oh, let's figure this one out. There we go. Something like that. We did it. 15 million. Improving that score. Improving that score. And here it is. We brought it home. So exciting. I could not be happier, my friends. Yes, it is so awesome to be able to bring it home. And look at this. You can see where all that damage is done, everything that's going on with this team, the healing, massive amounts of healing as well. So awesome, so great, and I'm so happy about it. And that, my friends, is everything that you needed to know here for the #1 free-to-play player guide, taking down the Beast Raid Avatar of Rune by the #1 free-to-play player without Burning Spice Cookie. Check that out. We have succeeded. We gave you the 4 T's. That's the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings in order to help you succeed and beat it. With that, my friends, I truly, really, deeply do hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you still got a question, if you got a comment, let me know, because I'd love to hear from you and would love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. Now, additionally, my friends, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community here. Additionally, thank you so much to our members. We do have memberships available too. You get emotes, icons, other cool things as well. We have affiliate links and a swag and a merch store that you can check out. All great ways to support that I appreciate. Additionally, don't forget my socials. At me, chat me, stay connected. And lastly, my friends, get out there, take down this beast Avatar of Rune here, because you can do it, because I did it as a free-to-play player just like you. With that, we'll see you again soon. Until next time, my friends, keep on running.